We are at the holiday season, and for grievers, that is incredibly tough. We've got expectations for ourselves. We have challenges to meet others' expectations, such as the venue that we are maybe expected to provide because it has always been at our place. Maybe it's the kinds of gifts that we're expected to give. Maybe it's just our accessibility for family and friends. Their desire, and sometimes it's ours as well, is to keep everything as normal as possible. Everything as it was, just sometimes acting as if nothing has happened, but that's not possible. It's truly impossible because everything has changed. When your person has died and the holidays come along, it's difficult to try to be the same, to move the same with all the joy, the expectation, all of that stuff that's supposed to be there and isn't a part of what we're feeling or experiencing. I want to talk about gratitude on this edition of Understanding Grief because gratitude is a very helpful tool for engaging in your grief and for moving through it. Because you see, gratitude, for one thing, doesn't paint over anything. Gratitude doesn't only see the good stuff. Gratitude takes account of everything that's going on in your life and brings it all together. All a part of your life, all of the stuff that's a part of your living, and brings it all together and holds it in one place. So gratitude is one way to handle the really hard stuff because gratitude isn't fragile. It's a starting point. So let's talk about the starting point for gratitude and all. And truly the thing to remember and to think about is that gratitude or grief, excuse me, is a reflection of the love that you have for your person who has died. It is one thing that is impossible to have without love, and that's grief. They come together. They are two sides of the same coin. There's a lot of different ways. They're tied up in a bow in the same package. A lot of different ways to imagine that or to think about that. But let me read for you something that Colin Campbell wrote. Colin has written a book in the last year in 2023 following the deaths of his adolescent children in an automobile accident that occurred um, because of a drunk driver. And he wrote this wonderful book called Finding the Words, Working Through Profound Loss with Hope and Purpose. And he says in here, our instincts tell us to run from pain. But what if, in the case of grief, our instincts are wrong? After all, the reason it hurts so badly is because we love them so much. The pain is from love. If we look at it that way, the pain can be understood not as a bad thing, but as a beautiful tribute. The love and pain are now forever entwined. We can't have one without the other. If we run from the pain, we'll also be running from the love that we shared. And what if instead of simply enduring the pain of our loss, we actually seek it out? What if we lean into the pain in order to bring ourselves closer to our loved one? And I think there's a couple of really amazing lines here that we have that pain can be understood not as a bad thing, but as a beautiful tribute. as well as if we understood instead simply enduring the pain of our loss, we actually seek it out. Those are places where gratitude can help us with that. Because again, it starts because we have this amazing privilege to love and be loved by somebody unique, somebody incredibly special, someone whose life and love brought out the best within us. And that's certainly something to be grateful for. No doubting the pain, no doubting how much it hurts and how deep it goes within us. But that pain, again, is a reflection entwined with the love that we have for this person. So to start there, what that does then is it brings you in a moment kind of beyond the pain into a different place. And gratitude allows us to be in a stance, in a position in life, a posture, if you will, as we engage with something, with what is happening, our grief. It's a posture, it's an attitude, it's a placement in front of what is happening and what's going on. Gratitude begins with awareness and an understanding of fullness. So imagine, if you will, with me, a Thanksgiving table, one you may have said in the past. The dishes are spread from end to end, and there's all kinds of abundance and bounty on the table. Turkey, potatoes, green beans or green bean casserole, just naming some things. There's pies, there's breads, there's salads, all kinds of finger foods. Whatever it is that is on your table that you're used to. Imagine that for a minute. Bring that abundance to your image there. Think about what that table contains, all those favorite foods. And now take each one of those foods and maybe have them represent something for you that you gained with that person. Maybe it's children. Maybe it is special shared memories of incredible events, graduations, marriages. Maybe it is the also some of the strength that you get having gone through a really difficult time with that person and being felt how much closer you're drawn to each other. Maybe it's simply just quiet moments of being together. That is a full and abundant table. But I would also offer to you that if you're like me, that that maybe on that table there's some foods that are other people like, but maybe they're not so much things that you particularly like. Um, and your person is like that as well. Maybe that person had some annoying habits that you didn't particularly like, or some things that you just couldn't ever figure out. Maybe there were some phrases that they always used. Maybe there were activities that they took part in that, you wished they hadn't, or maybe it was just something that's not your thing. Whatever it is, those two are parts of what make your person your person. Those two are a part of the wholeness of who that person is. And as you look before you on this table, as you look before you in your mind's eye and see all of these things that this relationship, this love has brought to the fullness of your life, and that person, their love, and all of who they are has helped to make you who you are. They've filled your life with all of those different pieces. That is a stance of gratitude before before this grief, because it allows both the good and the difficult kinds of things to come in which is true of, again, of something that gratitude does. It allows you to move beyond the pain. Go again, touch some of those moments of loss because this person is so special. Touch those moments that you're undoubtedly feeling since they have gone, and hold that for a moment. Feel that pain. That's okay. That's true. That's real. It's a part of it. Now, in thankfulness, be grateful for what that person has brought you again. Children, special events, quiet moments, some of the not so good things. See, what happens is that gratitude reframes those moments outside of that pain. Because gratitude does not make us submissive to that pain. It holds it, it understands, it feels that it's there, but gratitude does not subvert your experiences underneath the pain. It lifts it up, places it before you, and gives you some different lenses to go through. It redirects our thoughts away from where they began, in the pain, in the loss, in the loneliness, in the separation, in the potential of the anger and the fear and the regret. It redirects that towards some new space and time. And that time is right now. That is a moment in gratitude that we have. That is something, again, that does not acknowledge the situation you're in and the pain that you feel, but it moves you beyond, it moves you in front of, it helps you to stand over against that in a powerful and effective way. And truly, that kind of action is grieving at its best. Grieving is moving through that pain, moving through the experiences, moving through the fullness of loss and developing new capabilities, new strengths to stand in the face of such a terrible and difficult loss. That's grieving, and gratitude will help with that. Also, gratitude is not just a sense of happiness and excitement and maybe joy and adrenaline, because gratitude is it goes to a deeper place. It resides in the same depths as the love that you share with your person resides. So gratitude isn't fragile. It's not blind to your circumstances. And it truly becomes a part of how we grow through loss. This is especially true where uh, people like Colin Campbell, many parents who have experienced the death of their child have expressed their gratitude for who they have become as they have grieved their way through that, discovered new capacities, new abilities, and new meaning in their life. That's where Colin Campbell writes from. That's where many of us move from. We recognize that who we are now would not have been possible if those deaths had not happened to us. Not to say that we wished it, not to say that we're glad for it, because those deaths are too much of a very high price. But Campbell and others like him have found a jewel, a diamond, if you will. A diamond, a beautiful thing in that inner place within which provides meaning and a sense of purpose through that tragedy and those unwanted circumstances. Diana Butler Bass wrote a whole book about gratitude. And in there, she says, gratitude grounds our lives in the world and with others, always locating the gifts and grace that accompany our way. Gratitude is an emotion. Gratitude is an ethical way of life. It is a disposition, an awareness, a set of habits. But ultimately, gratitude is a place, perhaps the place, where we find our truest and best selves. Those whom we love, those whom we love and have died and have helped us to become our truest and best selves. That's where love resides. That's the place where our gratitude begins, because that is something to be grateful for. A place to address our loss and a place from which to move through it. Gratitude becomes a foundation and a foundational element that really moves us powerfully and with purpose through our grief. I hope that what I've shared here in this seminar has been helpful to you. I hope you found maybe some inspiration at it. This is again, a very difficult time of year. I hope that it will provide for you something to hold on to as you travel through this season. Take this idea of gratitude. Think about what you want to do on these upcoming holidays, whatever you celebrate. Think about how you want to build gratitude for your person, with your person, into those experiences, into those events. Those people that you love, they will be there. They'll be there in spirit, in heart, in love. So bring them along. Make sure that everybody knows the space that they have in your life and the space always at your table. We here at Journeys Through Grief hope that you will follow us. Got great gratitude for Jessica for all the work that she does for this, monitoring the feed, working on our pages, helping to make them beautiful, helpful, and meaningful. So we are all together in this journey. We invite you to reach out with questions and comments. Follow us. Let's all be together in our journey through grief. We here now send you peace while you grieve your loss.